Okay.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Today we are going to read Sabhiya Sutta from Sutta Nipāta, 3rd chapter, 6th Sutta, Sabhiya Sutta. So I will share the screen of the Sutta with you. With Sabhiya. Sabhiya Sutta. Sabha means a meeting, a conference, a gathering of people. The Sabhiya was born in a gathering hall, in a conference hall. So his name was Sabhiya, who was born in a Sabha. So I have heard. At one time, the Buddha was staying near Rajgah in the bamboo grove, the squirrels' feeding ground. Now, at that time, the wanderer Sabhiya had been presented with several questions by a deity who was a former blood relation, saying, Sabhiya, you should live the spiritual life with whatever ascetic or Brahmin answers these questions. Then Sabhiya, after learning those questions in the presence of that deity, approached those ascetics and Brahmins who led an order and a community and taught a community who were well known and famous religious teachers, deemed holy by many people. That is, Puran Kassapa, the bamboo saffled ascetic Gosal, Ajit of the hair blanket, Pakudha Kachayan, Sanjay Balatiputta, and the Jain ascetic of the Nartika clan, Nigantha Nataputta. And Sabhi asked them those questions, those 20 questions which were told to him by his blood relative deity. But they were stumped by them. Displaying annoyance, hate, and bitterness, they questioned Sabhiya in return. Then Sabhiya thought, those famous ascetics and Brahmins were stumped by my questions. Displaying annoyance, hate, and bitterness, they questioned me in return on that matter. Why don't I return to a lesser life, means householder's life? He was an ascetic. And he thought that nobody's telling me the answers to the questions. So why should I remain an ascetic? I should go back to a householder's life. I return to a lesser life so I can enjoy sensual pleasures. Then Sabhiya thought, this ascetic Gautama also leads an order and a community and tutors a community. He is a well known and famous religious founder, deemed holy by many people. Why don't I ask him this question? Then he thought, even those ascetics and Brahmins who are elderly and senior, who are advanced in years and have reached the final stage of life, who are senior, long standing, long gone forth, who lead an order and a community and tutor a community, who are well known and famous religious founders, deemed holy by many people, that is, Puranakassapa and the rest, were stumped by my questions. They displeased annoyance, hate, and bitterness, and even questioned me in return. How can the ascetic Gautama possibly answer my questions, since he is so young in age and newly gone forth. But then he thought, an ascetic should not be looked down upon or disparaged because they are young. Though young, the ascetic Gautama has great psychic power and might. Why don't I ask him this question? Then Sabhiya set out for Rajgaha. Traveling stage by stage, he came to Rajgaha, the bamboo grove, the squirrels' feeding ground. He went up to the Buddha and exchanged greetings with him. When the greetings and polite conversation were over, he sat down to one side and addressed the Buddha in verse. I have come full of doubts and uncertainties, said Sabhiya, wishing to ask some questions. Please solve them for me. Answer my questions in turn, in accordance with the truth. Now Buddha says, you have come for afar, Sabhiya, said the Buddha, wishing to ask some questions. I shall solve them for you, answering your questions in turn, in accordance with the truth. Ask me your questions, Sabhiya, whatever you want. I will solve each and every question you have. Then Sabhiya thought, oh Lord, how incredible, how amazing. Where those other ascetics and Brahmins didn't even give me a chance, the Buddha has invited me. Uplifted and elated, full of rapture and happiness, Sabhi asked this question. What must one attain to be called a mendicant? Kim pattinanam ahu bhikkhunam. What is a bhikkhu? That's what he is asking. Said Sabhi. How is one sweet? How said to be tamed? Soratam kena kathancha dantamahu. How is one declared to be awakened? Buddhoti katham pavuchati. May the Buddha please answer my question. Uttho me bhagava vyakaro. So now the Lord Buddha says, when by the path they have walked themselves, they reach extinguishment with doubt overcome, giving up desire to continue existence or to end it. Their journey complete, their rebirths ended. This is a mendicant, this is a bhikkhu. Equanimous towards everything, mindful. They don't harm anyone in the world. An ascetic who has crossed over, unclouded, who has no pretensions, is sweet natured. Ussada yassana santi, soratoso. Their faculties have been developed inside and out in the whole world. Having pierced through this world and the next, tamed, they await their time. They have examined the aeons in their entirety and both sides of transmigration, passing away and rebirth. Reed of dust, unblemished, purified, the one they call awakened has attained the end of rebirth. And then, having approved and agreed with what the Buddha said, uplifted and elated, full of rapture and happiness, Sabhi asked another question. What must one attain to be called Brahmin? Said Sabhiya. Why is one ascetic and how a bathed initiate? Samanam kena kathanchan hatakoti. Sraman and Snatak, who are Saman and Snatak. How is the one declared to be a giant? Nagoti katham pauchati. Who is called a Nag? May the Buddha please answer my question. Having banished all bad things, said the Buddha to Sabhiya. Immaculate, well composed, steadfast, consummate, they have left transmigration behind. Unattached, one such is called Brahmin. An assuaged one who has given up good and evil, stainless, understanding this world and the next, gone beyond rebirth and death. One such is rightly called Samana, ascetic. Having washed off all bad things, inside and out in the whole world, among gods and humans bound to creations, the one they call washed does not return to creation. That is Snatak, Natak in Pali and Snatak in Sanskrit. They do nothing monstrous at all in the world, discarding all yokes and bonds, everywhere not stuck. freed. One such is rightly called giant, Nag. Aga means fire, Naga means no fire. So the man who has no fire inside him, the woman or man who has no fire inside him, who is an arahant, that means, is called Naga. And then Sabhiya asked another question. What is a field vector according to the Buddha? Kam khettajinam vadanti Buddha, said Sabhiya. Why is one skillful and how is a wise scholar? How is one declared to be a sage? May the Buddha please answer my question. They are victors on the fields of deeds in their entirety, said said Buddha to the Sabhiya. The fields of gods, humans, and divinities, released from the rude bondage to all fields. One such is rightly called field victor, Khettajino. Field victor means Khettajino. They have examined the coffers in their entirety, the coffers of gods, humans, and divinities, released from the root bondage to all coffers. One such is rightly called skillful, kusala. Kusalo in Pali, kusala in Hindi, they are called skillful. They have examined the whiteness, Dubhayani Vichaya Pandarani, both inside and out, understanding purity. They have left dark and bright behind. One such is right called a wise scholar. Pandito Tadi Pauchate Tathata. He is called a Pandit. Understanding the nature of the bad and good, inside and out in this whole world. One worthy of honor by gods and humans, who has escaped from the net and the snare. This is a sage. It's called a Muni. Okay. These are all different names for person who is liberated. Okay. These are different pronouns for the adjectives for the person who is liberated from all types of defilements. And then Sabhi asks another question. What must one attain to be called knowledge master? Said Sabhi. Why is one studied and how is one heroic? Anuviditam kena kathanche viryati. How to gain the name thoroughbred, ajaniyo kinti nama hoti. May the Buddha please answer my question. They have examined the knowledges in their entirety, those that are current among ascetics and Brahmins. Here, the word Veda is mentioned, so many people have translated the knowledge of Vedas. Actually, the Sanskrit word Veda means to feel. So, Buddha here is talking about feelings, pleasant feelings, unpleasant feelings, neither pleasant nor pleasant feelings. So somebody who has studied all types of feelings, when you do your meditation, you come across a lot of feelings and you know that feelings arise and pass away. You know that attachment to the feeling is dukkha, misery, unsatisfactoriness. You know that feelings are not me, not mine, not my self. So this is how one knows the feelings. So Vedani Vichaya Kevalani. So all types of feelings one has gone through his meditation, and he is unattached to those feelings. Then only you can call him Vedagu. Those that are current among ascetics and Brahmins, rid of greed for all feelings. Sabbha Vedanasu Vitara. Having left all knowledges behind, that is a knowledge master. So the translation knowledge master is here not appropriate. It should be a master of feelings. Okay. So he is called the master of feelings, Vedagu. The Pali word is Vedagu. Having studied proliferation and name and form, inside and out, the root of disease, released from the root bondage to all disease. One such is rightly called studied, refraining from all evil here. Heroic, he escapes from the suffering of hell. He is heroic and energetic. One such is rightly called hero. Whoever's bonds are cut, the root of clinging inside and out, released from the root bondage to all clinging. One such is rightly called thoroughbred. Ajanyo, he's called Ajanyo. Athako sabhiyo paribhajako bhagavantam uttarim panam puchi. What must one attain to be called scholar? Why is one noble and how is one well conducted? How to gain the name wanderer? Why may the Buddha please answer my question? One who has learned every teaching, said Buddha to Sabhiya, and has known for themselves what in the world is blameworthy and blameless. A champion, decided, liberated, untroubled everywhere. They call them scholar. Sotiya. The word is, Pali word is Sotiya for scholar. Having cut off defilements and clingings, Chetva Asavani Alayani, being wise, they enter no womb. They have expelled the bog of the three perceptions. Sanyam Tividham Panujam Panujjapankam, the one they call noble, does not return to creation. Kappam Neti Tamahu Ariyoti, one here who is accomplished and skillful in all forms of good conduct. The three perceptions are sensuality, malice, and cruelty. One here who is accomplished and skillful in all forms of good conduct, always understanding the teaching, everywhere not stuck, freed in mind, who has no repulsion, they are well conducted. Charanava, well conducted means Charanava, who is good in conduct. They wander full of wisdom, having banished any deed that results in suffering, deceit and conceit, as well as greed and anger. Above, below, all round, between, they have made a limit on name and form. The one they call a wanderer has reached their destination. And then, having approved and agreed with what the Buddha said, uplifted and elated, full of rapture and happiness, Sabhiya got up from his seat, arranged his robe over one shoulder, raised his joint palms towards the Buddha, and extolled the Buddha in his presence with fitting verses. O one of vast wisdom, there are 360 opinions. There are 62 views of the Brahmajal Sutta. The view of self underlies them all, and according to the commentary, it is here included as the 63rd. Yani cha tini, yani cha satti, the 3 plus 60, based on the doctrines of ascetic. Samanappavada sitani bhuripanna. They are expressions of perception, based on perception. Having dispelled them all, you passed over the dark flood. You have gone to the end, gone beyond suffering. You are perfected, a fully awakened Buddha. I think you have ended defilements. Splendid, intelligent, abounding in wisdom, ender of suffering. You brought me across. When you understood my uncertainty, you brought me beyond doubt. Homage to you, a sage accomplished in the ways of sagacity. You are gentle, not hard hearted. O kinsman of the sun, any doubts that I once had, you have answered for me. O clear eyed one, clearly you are a sage, an awakened one. There are no hindrances in you. All your distress is blown away and mown down, cooled, tamed, steadfast. Truth is your strength. O giant among giants, O great hero, when you are speaking, All the gods rejoice, including both Narada and Pabbata. Ubho Narada Pabbata. Narada and Pabbata, they are mentioned in Mahabharata also, these two rishis. It was a pair of rishis, Narada and Pabbata. So in Sanskrit, Narada and Parvat. So they are also mentioned in Mahabharata, the pair of the rishis, pair of sages. Homage to you, O thoroughbred. Homage to you, supreme among men. In the world with its gods, you have no rival. You are the Buddha. You are the teacher. You are the sage who has overcome Mara. You have cut off underlying tendencies. You have crossed over and you bring humanity across. You have transcended attachments. Your defilements are shattered. You are a lion, free of grasping, with fear and dread given up, like a graceful lotus to which water does not stick. So, water does not stick to a lotus leaf. Similarly, a man who is liberated from all defilements, he does not get stuck to any of the subjects or objects in this world. He sixars everything, he relaxes into everything with a smile. So both good and evil do not stick to you. Stretch out your feet. Great hero, Sabhiya bows to the teacher. Then the wanderer Sabhiya bowed with his head at the Buddha's feet and said, Excellent, sir, excellent. I go for refuge to the Buddha, to the teaching, and to the mendicant Sangha. Sir, may I receive the going forth, the ordination in the Buddha's presence. So Buddha says to him, Sabhiya, if someone formerly ordained in another sect wishes to take the going forth, the ordination in this teaching and training, they must spend 4 months on probation. When 4 months have passed, if the mendicants are satisfied, they will give the going forth, the ordination into monkhood. However, I have recognized individual differences in this matter. So Sabhiya says, Sir, if 4 months probation are required in such a case, I will spend 4 years on probation. When 4 years have passed, if the mendicants are satisfied, let them give me the going forth, the ordination into monkhood. And the wanderer Sabhiya received the going forth, the ordination in the Buddha's presence. And the Venerable Sabhiya became one of the perfected. He became the perfected. So, all the qualities of a perfected man, of an arhat, are mentioned in this sutta. We are reading Sutta Nipāta in all our meetings, and we see that many of the suttas they describe the quality of an arhat. So, seems to be a speciality of the book Sutta Nipāta. And there are different names given to the arhat, given to the liberated. See, one of the name is, we'll go from first name again. What are the different names given to the arhat or the Buddha? It's a long list. So first name is Bhikshu. Second name is Sorata, that is sweet, tamed, Dantam, Buddha. Then there is Brahman, Saman, Nag. These are three names. Then he again asks Khettajinam. skillful, Kusal, Pandit, Muni. Ketajina, Kusal, Pandit, Muni. These are the four names. Third time he asks. Then he again asks, Vedagu, Anuvidita, Viryavat, Ajaniyo. Then he again asks, who is Swatiya, who is Arya, who is Charanava, who is Paribhajak. So this is the list of the names. He asks, who is this, who is this, who is this? But everything means ultimately an arahant. So Buddha, for every term, Buddha describes it as an arhat. So this is the sutta. Does anybody want to say anything?
Thank you, Dr. Madhusudanji. Always very nice you read from Sutta Nipāta because it's rare. We don't normally look there. I just have question because nowadays we tend to use these terms like bhikkhu, mendicant, muni, paribhajika, all these things we don't, because it's kind of common now, and arahat is not so common now. So
Yeah.
I mean, how to say, like at which
Yeah, there are
point?
double meanings to the every term. Like in
Mm,
India, there is a caste called Brahmin. Okay. So
yes.
anybody who is born in a Brahmin caste is called a Brahmin. But each term has two meanings. Like Dhamma is also having two meanings. Dhamma also means anything arising in the mind, and Dhamma also means teaching of the Buddha. So this is the higher meaning of the word Dhamma. Yeah. So these are the higher meanings of the word Brahmin, the word Muni, uh, the word Pandit, the word Vedagu, like that. Okay. So Buddha is explaining higher meanings in a broader, higher sense in spirituality. Okay.
Okay. Then I have another question. There was one line that talked about the three perception. Where is it? Let me find.
Yeah. It is called sensuality, malice, and cruelty.
Hmm. Can you so in what context? Like because wait, let me
I have
try and
to, I
find.
have to also say, study it because I don't know where it is originally mentioned.
Oh, okay, okay.
Hmm.
No, I cannot even find it.
Cruelty is vihinsa, sensuality is kama chanda, malice is maybe vapad. Yeah, we have to see. I have to look into it. Okay.
Okay, okay. I'm just
Mhm.
curious, because
Yeah, yeah,
normally I just think of three characteristic: greed, hatred, delusion, no?
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
this one like
Three types
slightly.
of sanya. We have to search for three types of sanya where it is mentioned originally.
Three types of sun, yeah? Okay, okay, okay.
Mhm.
One thing I like is I don't know whether I heard Veda, um, master of feelings.
Yeah.
What was it? Veda,
Vedagu. Vedagu.
Veda Go.
Yeah,
I like
Vedagu.
that
It
one.
is in most of the translations, they have translated as Master of Vedas, Vedas of India, the holy books of
Oh,
India, holy books of
uh,
India. But that is not true.
mm,
Buddha is not talking about holy books. He's talking
mm,
about feelings, feelings. Okay.
Pleasant, unpleasant,
Yeah. And,
neutral, and
yeah.
here
Yeah. Then,
mastering.
yeah, he is master of feelings. So these are the main divisions: pleasant, unpleasant, and not neither pleasant nor unpleasant. But Buddha has many times described more than 100 types of feelings and all that. Okay.
Oh,
So mhm,
oh,
yes, there are
okay.
many subtypes of feelings. So when one becomes arhat, he has gone through all those feelings through his meditation, and he has
Mm,
become detached to all types of feelings. Then he's called master of feelings. That is Vedagu. Okay.
mm. But for the practice of the 6 hours, I guess we just need to be able to notice
Yes, yes,
when tension and tightness arise in the mind or in the body.
yes. All types of feeling you need to get detached to it. By relaxing, we get detached to it.
Mm.
Yeah.
One thing I found very interesting this past week was when the body uh, is going through some physical changes, let's say, either due to tired or fatigue or stress or whatever, the mind state gets quite emotional and interestingly, even when I'm smiling, I'm smiling, trying my best to 6R, but the attachment, I think I realized after, when we're during, because I'm doing some, I'm using 6Rs to heal some past, uh, yeah, I want to call it trauma or whatever. The attachment I notice even every day when I'm, is so strong. You know how Bante Vimalaramsi used to say, yet that we have to make friends with our, because they are pointing
Distraction.
us to our,
Distraction.
yeah,
Hindrances.
yeah. And this one is, I'm particularly interested because I, very keen to let it go, right? Um,
Yeah.
but it's so interesting that
Mm.
in the process of going through it, somehow the body also has to go through some transformation. And
Yes.
it is a combination, I don't know how to explain. It's like a combination of pain,
Body and
anxiety,
mind. Yeah.
or both at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Uh,
Definitely.
uh, so it's in a sense quite overwhelming, Dr.
So you
Madhusudanji.
have to observe both body feeling
Oh,
and mental feeling, both.
both
Yeah. And
at
you
the
have to
same
master
time.
both. You have to master the detachment towards both types of feelings, body feeling and
Okay. I'm trying my best. It's interesting though. And then from the experience, then the thought occurred, right? Maybe because you're also a medical doctor, I'm assuming you also have people that come with mental health. And then a thought occurred to me, whoa. So now I understand people who are very deep in a serious mental health condition, why they cannot pull themselves out. Like they actually need drugs because the mental state is the attachment so strong. Am I right?
yeah.
So in that instance, we can't tell them, hey, try 6R because they can't even
No,
smile,
there
right?
we have to give them metta and we have to wait them till they practice. They can practice forgiveness first. They have to practice forgiveness.
Mm,
Okay. And they can perform
no.
uh, seva service to the Dhamma ceremonies and all, Dhamma centers and all. Then they can come out, and then after some time they can practice loving kindness also.
Okay. Madam Nanda raised her hand. I think she got a question.
I thank you very much. I just wanted to mention, I think I came across a sutta where the Blessed One says there are 108 feelings.
Yeah.
I thought I'll just mention that. And as May said, my understanding is that we call it dukkha, suffering. That is, as Venerable Vimala Ramsi says, it deposits in the body as tightness and tension. And what I realized was, my understanding is, when we practice 6R, we are just kind of by layer, it's a gradual training, getting rid of this stress in the body. And that way I get rid of that dukkha, that which has deposited in the body. So I understand and I recognize when May say it can be very difficult, but we need to, however, we need to persist and have the trust in the Buddha's teachings. The 6R, provided we continuously practice it, my understanding is it is very possible for most of us to either reduce the stress already deposited in our body for years, and therefore feel a lightness eventually. And I guess eventually we should be able to get rid of it completely. And I understand what you're saying, that for some it could be very, very difficult. I know I didn't realize until I started 6R that I was so attached to my feelings. I didn't know anything better. It's only by practicing 6R I was gradually realizing that, this is really silly for me to be so attached to my feelings. So I recognize what you're saying, May. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Nanda, for sharing. I think it's also very useful. What the Buddha says is very correct. To have Kalyana Mitta, spiritual friends, in our circle. So more and more now, I am very careful with who I associate with. Of course, sometimes those of us who are working, we don't really have a choice. But then again, we can limit our interactions with those who we feel not going to benefit our practice. So it is very true who we keep close to us and who we try to limit interaction is a huge factor in our practice.
Yes, I do agree with that. What I do is what I've started doing with Bhante Ramsi's teaching is to surround myself with unconditional, universal loving kindness. I was just amazed how effective that was.
Yeah, absolutely. Naturally, like attracts like, so your energy, your positive energy will attract those, and then those who don't like that, they will naturally avoid you anyway. I just had a thought this morning. I went for a morning walk around the neighborhood, and it's really funny because people walk their dogs a lot in this neighborhood. So animals are particularly sensitive, and I just laugh thinking back to the reaction from the dogs. The dog is very far from me, but already they can, you know, um, like the dog will
Yes,
suddenly. It's very
yes,
cute.
yeah.
I just
Thank
had
you. Yeah.
this morning there was one big, oh, I don't know, I think it's a Labrador or something, big dog, when they jump up, it's taller than you kind of thing. And he was following his owner, and then I was just about maybe 20 meters away, not very near, and he just turned around like this. And then there was another one, the poodle. So funny, so cute. So human beings may not interact in that manner. Um, but yeah, it's kind of fun.
That's great. Yeah.
Dr. Madhusudanji, are you still there?
Yes, yes.
Ah, sorry,
Let
we're
us share merit. Yeah.
okay.
May suffering ones be suffering free and the fear-struck fearless be. May the grieving shed all grief and may all beings find relief. May all beings share this merit that we have thus acquired for the acquisition of all kinds of happiness. May beings inhabiting space and earth, devas and nagas of mighty power, share this merit of ours. May they long protect the Lord Buddha's dispensation. Sad, sad, sad.
Dr. Madhusudanji, before you go, if
Yeah.
any time, because you go through the Sutta Nipāta more than anyone, if any time you come across anything with regards to health or well-being, can you help point it out, please? I'm particularly interested in any part in the Sutta Nipāta related to health and well-being.
Okay, health and well-being. Okay.
In
Okay.
case you come across.
Yeah, if I find out. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.